There is a legendary 5 Poison Sect in the martial world, striking fear into the hearts of all who hear of it. The eldest disciple excels in the centipede technique, unleashing attacks as swift as the 1,000-armed guanyin. The second disciple is renowned for the snake technique, earning the title Spirit Snake Lord with his right hand resembling a snake's head and his left hand resembling a snake's tail. The third disciple is a master of the scorpion technique, with hands like scorpion pincers and feet resembling a scorpion's tail. The fourth disciple is a master of the gecko technique, able to cling to surfaces with agile movements. The fifth disciple has mastered the toad technique, possessing skin as tough as iron, impervious to blades and spears. Originally, these 5 poisons were the master's most accomplished disciples, each mastering a unique martial art. However, rumors in the martial world have tarnished their reputation, making the 5 Poison Sect infamous and deterring anyone from approaching them. The remorseful old sect leader deeply regrets this and resolves to cleanse the sect's name. But with his health failing, he can only rely on herbs to prolong his life. To redeem the sect's honor, he takes in Yongde as the last disciple and imparts all the martial arts to him. However, Yongde lacks specialization despite mastering various martial arts, making him no match for any of the 5 senior disciples individually. Yet, if he could team up with one of them, they might have a chance to defeat the other 4. Unfortunately, the 5 senior disciples have long gone into hiding and won't reveal themselves until the critical moment. Finding them seems like searching for a needle in the sea. The old sect leader reveals the existence of a treasure map in the hands of a junior martial brother, which holds the ill-gotten gains of the 5 Poison Sect. He hopes Yongde will find the junior martial brother and convince him to dissolve the sect and use the wealth for charitable deeds, thus luring the 5 senior disciples to emerge. This way, the plan to cleanse the sect can begin. Yongde accepts this heavy responsibility and conceals his identity, disguising himself as a beggar to infiltrate the town. In the town, the local constable is the 4th senior disciple, while the 5th senior disciple roams the martial world as a knight-errant. Yongde knows that if he can find one of the senior disciples who is still righteous, he can deal with the other 4. Fully dedicated to the mission given by the old sect leader, Yongde sets out to find the 5 senior disciples and discover their whereabouts. The next day, the 5th and 4th senior disciples secretly investigate the location of the treasure, but they are unexpectedly spotted by Yongde. However, the 1st and 2nd senior disciples have already received the information and discovered that the junior martial brother is an official at the county yamen, government office. They break into the junior martial brother's home, kidnap his family, and force him to reveal the treasure's location. The junior martial brother, determined not to divulge the information, and his family are killed by the 1st and 2nd senior disciples. This scene is accidentally witnessed by a gambling-loving servant on his way home. A homicide occurs in the county, and the county magistrate orders the constable, 4th senior disciple, to investigate the case. The 4th senior disciple suspects that the 1st and 2nd senior disciples are the culprits and is determined to find the killers. The 5th senior disciple agrees to assist him. They find the servant who has seen the killers, and he identifies the 1st senior disciple as the murderer. The 4th senior disciple goes to find the 2nd senior disciple, while the 5th senior disciple helps the authorities capture the 1st senior disciple. The 1st senior disciple's centipede technique is extraordinary, agile as a centipede. But the 5th senior disciple is impervious to blades and spears. Both are skilled, and the battle of wits and courage is intense. However, Yongde, the junior martial brother, pretends to fall and seizes the opportunity to assist the 5th senior disciple, helping him subdue the 1st senior disciple with a single move. The 1st senior disciple is brought to the county yamen's main hall, and the servant points him out as the murderer. The county magistrate decides to punish the 1st senior disciple, but he refuses to admit guilt even in the face of harsh penalties. The county official prepares to intensify the punishment when he notices the 5 poisons symbol on the table. It turns out the second senior disciple bribed the county magistrate and planned to frame the 5th senior disciple for the crime. Under pressure and temptation, the servant changes his testimony, accusing the 5th senior disciple as the killer. To separate the 4th and 5th senior disciples, the county magistrate arranges for the 4th to go to the provincial capital to deliver a message. Meanwhile, they send people to arrest the 5th senior disciple. The 5th senior disciple, believing himself innocent, willingly appears in court for questioning. However, the servant accuses him of being the murderer, putting the 5th senior disciple in a perilous situation. The county magistrate prepares to punish him, but conventional methods have no effect on the 5th senior disciple. The wicked second senior disciple suggests using the 1,000 needles robe to break his inner energy. However, the 5th senior disciple's inner energy is unparalleled, and the 1,000 needles robe proves futile. The second senior disciple is forced to step forward and duel the 5th senior disciple himself. His spirit snake technique is agile and elusive, but he still cannot find a flaw in the 5th senior disciple's inner energy. The 5th senior disciple defends himself with his impervious body, but suddenly gets hit by 2 flying darts shaped like scorpions, which pierce his ears, breaking his inner energy. The county official orders the injured 5th senior disciple to wear the 1,000 needles robe. Covered in wounds, the 5th senior disciple is in critical condition. The county magistrate and the second senior disciple, however, are not satisfied and decide to make him wear the scorching hot iron vest. After enduring cruel torture, the 5th senior disciple is on the brink of death. To prevent any future trouble, they bribe the yamen officers and suffocate the 5th senior disciple with damp yellow paper, staging it as a suicide due to guilt. Finally, the 4th senior disciple returns. Upon learning of the tragic death of the 5th senior disciple, he is filled with grief and anger, determined to avenge his fallen brother. Yongda reveals his identity and decides to join forces with the 4th senior disciple to cleanse the sect's name. The 4th senior disciple deals with the 1st senior disciple, while Yongda confronts the 2nd senior disciple. The 3rd senior disciple remains a spectator, observing the showdown. With the cooperation of the 4th senior disciple and Yongda, they manage to drive back the centipede elder. They then converge on the 2nd elder from both sides. Unexpectedly, the 3rd elder secretly launches crab-shaped darts that hit the 2nd elder. At this moment, both the 4th and Yongda recognize the 3rd elder. The 4th senior disciple points out that the 3rd elder has already obtained the treasure map. The 4th and Yongda launch a joint attack on the 3rd elder. During the fight, the 2nd elder removes the scorpion-shaped darts from his body and launches a sneak attack on the 3rd elder, piercing his abdomen with both hands. Both the 3rd and 2nd elders suffer severe injuries and die one after another. The 4th and Yongda attack the 1st elder from all sides, and the 1st elder, who had committed countless wrongdoings, reaps what he sows, eventually falling under the combined assault of the 4th and Yongda. Finally, they find the treasure map and decide to fulfill the master's will by locating the treasure and using it to help the impoverished. At the same time, they dissolve the 5 Poison Sect, erasing it completely from the martial world.